question. Sorry, Tom, go ahead.
Mr. Chair, thank you for the opportunity to speak. As you've heard, the Faculty Senate opposes the closure of these programs. We feel very strongly that each of the programs is aligned with the strategic initiatives, that it makes no sense to say we're going to spend $17 million in strategic initiatives, and by the way, we're going to cut out something that's international, something that's health-related, and something, again, that's health and therapeutically related. When these are growing in enrollment, and when their faculty members have produced, as particularly in the case of religious studies, 4 works in the field, have been reaching out to the community in a very active and productive fashion, have been drawing the attention of scholars worldwide, highly respected people. There's been a lot of talk about the Dalai Lama, but those of you in the Catholic persuasion will know the name of Hans Küng, Europe's most famous theologian in the 20th century, and Hans Küng visited here and taught both students and faculty, as well as lectured and accepted an honorary degree from us because we had a religious studies program. The function of universities historically has been to retain talent and money in the economy, the local economy, and draw more in. Yesterday, the New York Times and the Miami Herald had an obituary, a very sad 47-year-old professor at Stanford who came to the United States to go to Berkeley from India and became the mentor to the people who set up Google and numerous other companies that have been the engines of Silicon Valley's success. We don't know who the mentors will be at FIU. I lament the recent loss of the director of our computer science programming to North Carolina, one of the University of North Carolina programs. Our faculty are very closely in touch with the students and working very hard. You saw the figures on doctoral degree production, which is very faculty intensive. You should be aware in the back of your mind that faculty are teaching at FIU the largest, highest student-teacher ratio in the state of Florida, which in turn, among public universities, is the highest in the country. Faculty have been struggling to bring in resources, not merely tuition. Contract and grant revenue has spurted over the years, fallen back, and is now growing again at the rate of 20%. So we've heard a lot about these particular programs, but they're supported generally by the whole faculty. These programs specifically go to the core of our mission, our strategic imperatives that we've set for ourselves. They've been successful. Last year we did cut programs with a great deal of hurt, I think, all around. Nobody looks forward to that. We cut, for example, the program that's most concerned with industrial and organizational efficiency, industrial engineering and systems engineering. 2 years after an outside consulting firm hired by the university had rated it as number 3 in the university for scholarly productivity. Where were our minds? This year, we're coming back and looking at the elimination of programs that are tied into, by their very nature, our core strategic missions, while we're talking about spending money on other aspects of the core strategic mission. Our faculty in these programs not only are teaching a large number of students who are not majors, and that's another problem with our organizational behavior. We don't know what the majors of 5,500 upper division students are. Is that the way to run an institution? We just don't know that. So we can't say, well, we're eliminating upper division courses. We're not going to lose anything in that elimination. We don't know what we're losing in terms of service to students. I think our organization could do better. After all, we've grown our administrators by at least 25% if we deduct a lot from the union report. My reading of our administrators' response to that report was, in the last 6 years, we've grown administrators by 25%. We still don't know who we're teaching and what we're teaching them. That's a sad commentary on the administration. One of the reasons we have such a high faculty-student ratio is that we have the 9th lowest E&G per student allocation in the state university system. When we look to the foundation for support, we find the foundation strapped. The foundation is being called upon in very troubled times to support 2 presidents. We can't look to the foundation. So we need to look to internal reallocation. The cuts have been called down upon our academic programs. What about our administrative side? Why can't they take a larger than proportionate cut in the E&G support? As I look at this proposal that comes to us, I look at it with the eyes of a 33-year veteran at this institution. I've worn a lot of hats. I've been Vice President for Research and Graduate Studies once upon a time, not that long ago. And I know something about the delivery of programs and academic structure. And I can tell you, as someone who typed the original Latin American and Caribbean proposal to Title VI of the U.S. Department of Education, that we built that program out of existing departmental commitments to faculty, not out of something that was parachuted into departments. And we kept it alive because it had a departmental base. What is proposed as an alternative to you as a satisfactory arrangement for the maintenance of a master's degree program in religious studies is, from my experience, not something that has legs, and the Faculty Senate strongly believes that and has urged me to bring that among other considerations to you today. I believe that the elimination of these programs is not called for at this time. We have not managed our budget in a way to protect the academic programs. We have protected administration more than we have protected academic programs. There's no doubt that we have a weak infrastructure. There's no doubt that we had to build the development office, the budget office. People have been working very, very hard, and you've seen today some of the fruits of that. But the fact of the matter is that a strong administration cannot teach students. It does not bring research out and put it out before the world. It does not, for all intents and purposes, build the university's standing in the academic world. Our president used to make a pledge every year at graduations, which has always struck me. He's always acted as a champion of our academic program, fighting battle after battle to bring us programs. He told graduates at every commencement up until President Bush came that each year he pledged, we all pledged, that the academic degree given by FIU would be worth more each and every year that they held it. I think that that solemn pledge was a wonderful pledge from our champion. And what we're proposing today is a second year of retreat from the academic program that we were authorized by the state on the basis of local need to give. We are in retreat from our mission. And I urge you today, all of my fellow trustees, not to retreat from the mission, to tell the administration to come back and use their multiplied brains to come up with a better answer and solution to a problem which is not going to go away. And if we don't do it differently this year, next year we'll be back here looking at another program elimination, a further retreat. 2 years in a row, we begin to set a habit. 3 years in a row, we'll be going very much downhill. Thank you.